In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a customer supply design and some of the questions that they had I thought would be relevant to other users of EasyStone as well. Now, this customer is fairly new to EasyStone, fairly new to CorelDRAW, trying to learn it, figure it all out, and once you do, you'll be able to create just about anything you can imagine and do so very quickly, and the end result will be a really nice finished result. So first of all, one of the questions was, well, here's the file that I was working on, Football Sister. You've probably seen this type of design elsewhere. And so the question is, what happened to my design? It used to be in color. Well, the first thing when I looked at the design, I said, well, I wonder if it's in wireframe mode. So what I could do is go up to the View menu, and sure enough, it's in wireframe. So if we switch to Enhanced, usually you toggle one or the other. There's the Enhanced mode. Now we have all of our colors back. And we have those buttons right here on our toolbar where we can go into wireframe or Enhanced mode. Okay? So that's step one. That's how you get into that. All right, so then the next thing that I noticed that they didn't really even ask about is in regards to the football text here. I was looking at this text and I thought, oh boy, looks like they're doing things the hard way. And so I remember when I first started with doing rhinestone design, and I started with various other programs before developing EasyStone, I thought to myself, well, geez, this program is lousy. And no, the program isn't actually lousy. It's just we don't know how to use those programs. And that's usually the biggest thing with any rhinestone program. It's not necessarily that it can't do what you want it to do. It's just the developer doesn't do a very good job of explaining how to accomplish a given task in the most effective manner. So yes, as you can see here, it appears to me that they kind of just started hand placing stones along, using the text as a guide. And yes, you can get the job done that way, certainly. But there's certainly tools here in EasyStone to simplify the process. So that's what I want to show you here. We're going to be creating the word football sister, and I'm going to show you how to do that most effectively with the tools here inside EasyStone. So first things first, let's just type out the words that we're looking to use. Football sister. The font that we're going to be using is this Kirsten ITC. And then we're going to set our font size to be 8 inches. That's just what I chose. So there's our font size, is to be 8 inches. And then what we're going to do is we're going to center justify the text. Okay? So this is the font that we're looking to create. So how best to do it here inside EasyStone? So first of all, we have to determine what stone size we're going to use. In my case, I'm going to use SS16 stones with a 0.5 of a millimeter spacing between stones. And so we're going to go to the Fonts tab and use this tool right here, which is the Convert to Single Line Font tool. When we click on that button, we just have to wait, and EasyStone will process this font for us and do that conversion for us. And it does our conversion pretty well, as you can see. Now, there are some existing paths along here, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll select the whole design, come to the Stone tab. We have this Select Stone Paths button, and what that will do is that will lift all of our stone paths so that, let's just say, I don't know, let's just say, for example, I wanted to do SS6 stones, and let's say I wanted to do like a 5-inch design. See, I could just resize those paths, click on Add Stones, and now we have the same football sister, but it's only 5 inches wide. So if we want to do like for a rhinestone decal or something, we still have all the original paths that we can then modify. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and select all those paths. We're going to delete the stone paths, get rid of them, and this is what we're left with. Now, it's not a perfect result, but no program is going to give us a perfect result, but this result is very usable. So let me show you the tools here inside EasyStone to clean this up for us quite easily. We're going to go to the Editing tab, and we're going to use this respace function quite a bit. So grab our 3-point curve tool, drag out a little curve. Let me undo that because I didn't drag it out correctly. So there we go. There's our 3-point curve. Now if we hit respace, you can see it will automatically grab those stones and put them along that path. And then I can just give it one less stone count. Now once I have this path in place, then I would probably just hand move those couple of stones. And there is our letter F. Okay, then we move on here to our letter T. Similar type situation. So again, I would just create our 3-point curve, choose the respace function. Once I have those stones in place, then I can just come in here, tweak those couple of stones, and I'm going to delete. Now this is an executive decision that I'm going to make. I'm going to delete that stone path, and I'm going to add one more stone to the height, just because I think that makes for a better looking T than what we started with. So what do we do here for our letter B? Well, we're going to, again, 3-point curve tool, because we have all these overlapping stones and they're not spaced properly and whatnot. So go to respace, space those out, then we'll drop it down a stone, give our spacing the way we need it. Now for the rest of our B, I'm going to take this stone and hand place that stone and hand place this one. Then I'm going to grab my 3-point curve tool, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click, and the path that I make doesn't have to look real pretty. Just rough it in, come back over here, respace, it'll shuffle those stones around, and now we have perfect spacing all the way around. So what do we do here for our letter A? Same kind of thing. We're just going to drag this stone down. Let's hand place that one. I want a little tail like the letter B has. And then we're just going to come in here, grab our 3-point curve tool again, and go back to respace. And we'll respace those stones. Then what we're going to do is we're going to, see, I can't grab that stone because it's actually wanting to grab the blend. So if I hold down my Alt key and then click on the stone, then it'll grab the exact stone I want. So we're going to hand place that first stone, just like we did with our letter B. We're going to hand place this last stone, and then we're just going to grab our 3-point curve tool and rough it in. I'm going to try and do it deliberately sloppy, just so you can see it doesn't have to look real pretty. Hit respace. It'll just kind of shuffle those about a little bit and just make a small tweak, and there is our word football. So we're going to go ahead and delete all of our stone paths, and now you can see we have a really nice, clean looking word football. We didn't have to hand place very many stones at all, and we have a great end result. So let's go ahead and take a look at our letter S here for on sister. So we're going to go ahead and just delete a couple of stones, finish it off just like that. So maybe what I'll do actually is shuffle these around a little bit. So we'll do something like that. So that takes care of the bottom. Then the top, we have to kind of do the same kind of similar thing. Just move these around. So there's our word, our letter S. And we got to put a little dot on our I for sister. And we're going to delete this stone. We don't have to recreate the T because we already have the T for football. So we'll just copy that down. Now, this is where I get nitpicky, okay? I don't necessarily expect you to do this, but let me just show you what we're going to do. This E right here, I want a nice sharp corner over here. So what I'm going to do is there's an overlapping stone. We can delete that. I'm going to grab my 3-point curve tool. I'm going to straighten these stones out just a touch. So let's do that by going to the editing tab and hitting respace. That'll straighten those out. And then I'm just going to push this stone in a little bit just to get this a little bit sharper corner. I'm going to go ahead and delete that stone path. And then we're just going to reshuffle these stones. So let's go ahead and grab our 3-point curve tool again. Something like that. Now you'll notice this curve doesn't like go straight through the center of some of those stones, right? Don't be concerned about that. It doesn't look real pretty, but just as long as it's close, then we hit respace. It's pretty forgiving. You can see now all those stones are perfectly spaced. Go ahead and delete stone paths. and to me it just looks a little bit cleaner. It's really just a matter of personal preference, probably. So then one more letter here, which is our letter R. So we'll go ahead and go to our editing tab. Okay, and we can modify this path afterwards too. So if you're not real happy with it originally, just double click on it and you can modify the path after the fact. But we'll grab these 3 stones and reposition those a little bit. And there we go. So let's go ahead and delete our stone paths there. And we'll add weed box. And there we have our football sister text, and it looks perfect. We have the exact result that we're looking to get. Yes, we did have to work it a little bit to get that perfect result, but pretty basic editing, and we have a great looking end result. And that's the right way to do text. So it'll only take a few minutes to do it, but the end result will be a perfect end result. So I hope you learned a little something with this one. Another example of doing text that you'll find useful. Thanks for watching.